Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Transfer portal season is here. You guys know me. I always say, let the chaos begin. I love transfer portal season. I like jumping on social media, on Twitter, seeing all the guys declaring their intentions to enter the transfer portal, kind of picking and choosing who will Tennessee go after, who will they track down. I think we're going to see some visits start to take place, and it'll be interesting to see where Tennessee goes. But I go back to the article from On3 talking about Tennessee is going to be one of the big spenders in the portal this season. And we're talking about the class of 2025. We're talking about early signing day. Tennessee comes in ranked 10th in the class of 2025. But I think they've got a pretty solid roster. I think they've got some depth. And I think, I'm not too concerned about coming in at 7th in the SEC. I know that's a hot topic. That's a hot debate. Some people aren't happy with where that class of 25 shaked out. But the bottom line is you've got an opportunity to go into the transfer portal and pick and choose and kind of rebuild this roster, add some depth, add some key pieces. You can go in and look for a playmaker. If you've got that unlimited budget, I ask you, where do you go in the transfer portal? Where do you think we need the most help? And we've already seen a couple of casualties, right? We saw Vyson Lang declare that he was going to enter the portal. And you could kind of see the writing on the wall there when you go back to fall camp. Cooper Mays was on a limited snap count. We know it's his last ride coming back using that COVID year of eligibility. He was on a limited snap count, so there was a whole lot of talk between Vyson Lang and a true freshman, William Satterwhite, who was going to win out that job. Well, it sounds like William Satterwhite got the better of Vyson Lang. And the bad thing is you kind of wish Vyson Lang would stick around and add some depth to this offensive line that you're going to be losing a lot of guys on, right? John Campbell, Javonte Spraggins, Cooper Mays, Dane Davis, Jackson Lampley. You got a lot of bodies to replace on this offensive line. As a true freshman like David Sanders ready to come in and compete for that right tackle job, you got a young Lance Hurd. Hopefully, Andres Carrot gets that waiver approved. He would be crucial to get back on this offensive line. So you hate to see a guy like Vyson Lang enter the portal just because he would be a depth piece for this roster. And then also we talked about the running back position. Khalifa Keith off to the transfer portal. Dylan Sampson likely off to the NFL. But I think we've got a pretty good three-headed monster. Deshaun Bishop, redshirt freshman. When healthy, he played really good football this year. Peyton Lewis, true freshman. I thought he looked good at times. Cameron Seldon. We kind of asked, where was Cam Seldon all year long? Was he going to redshirt or was he going to enter the transfer portal? A lot of speculation there. He got some run late in the season because of the injury to Deshaun Bishop. And Cam Seldon's a guy that he dealt with some nagging injuries, and I think that allowed Peyton Lewis and Deshaun Bishop some opportunities. But I think Cam Seldon looks good. I think that's a pretty solid three-headed monster. Plus, you've got Justin Baker coming in. You've got Dwan Morris coming in as true freshman. So I think, the impact of Khalifa Keith there is not as big of a deal. But now we have another one. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it. But as always, I need you guys to do me a favor. Smash the thumbs up just below the video. It is quick, free, and easy. It helps the channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. If it's your first time here on the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts here. We're not insiders. We're not media. We speculate. We're fans. We do what fans do. This channel is for the fans, by the fans. If you like what we do, make sure you subscribe. Click the bell for notifications. You're not going to miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. We're talking Tennessee football all day, every day, right here on the Talkin VAWLS Network. But let's get into it. Red shirt sophomore wide receiver Caleb Webb has declared his intentions to enter the transfer portal. 6'3", 204 pounds, out of Powder Springs, Georgia. There was a lot of hype around Caleb Webb when he committed in that class of 22. That class of 22, pretty strong at the wide receiver position. You had Caleb Webb, Chaz Nimrod, Squirrel White, all in that class. He was a four-star wide receiver. He was in the top 200, ranked 199th nationally coming out of high school, but he only played in 4 games this year. He finished the season with 6 catches, 48 yards. A year ago in 2023, he actually played in 8 games, had 16 catches, 166 yards, and 1 touchdown. Should have 2 years of eligibility left. I think he'll be able to go somewhere and play, go somewhere and compete. And again, I said this about Vyson Lang. I said this about Khalifa Keith. We don't always know the ins and outs of why these guys are entering the portal. Is Caleb Webb a guy that's entering the portal because he's seeking playing time? Is Caleb Webb a guy that's being told, hey, man, you should probably look elsewhere? You've been passed by on the depth chart. So, you want to wish this kid the best of luck. Caleb Webb's a guy that we kind of speculated last offseason. We looked at this wide receiver room, and it was like, man, we are loaded at the wide receiver position. You had Mike Matthews and Braylon Staley coming in as true freshmen. Chris Brazel, Dante Thornton, some guys that you had added the last couple of years. via the transfer portal. Brew McCoy, Squirrel White. It's like, where does Caleb Webb fit in? Where does Chaz Nimrod fit in? Nathan Laycock, another guy that we kind of talked about. Where does he fit in on this roster? A guy that had a ton of hype coming out of high school, but it sounds like Nathan Laycock put in some work during the offseason. So we'll see how this wide receiver room plays out. But I think we're going to be just fine. And does another wide receiver declare to enter the portal? I don't know. We'll have to watch and see how it plays out. Brew McCoy out of eligibility. Dante Thornton out of eligibility. But, Mike Matthews is a guy that we're all high on. All of us are high on Mike Matthews. And there was a lot of where is Mike Matthews throughout the course of this season. We did see him get some action late in the year, had 7 catches for 90 yards, had 2 touchdowns. I think we saw a little glimpse of what Mike Matthews could be. Who's going to be that big play guy? Because you're losing Dante Thornton out of eligibility. He led this team with 647 receiving yards, big-time plays, right? Only had 25 catches, but led the team in receiving yards, averaged almost 26 yards per reception, had 6 touchdowns. Who's going to step up and be that deep threat? Who's going to step up and be that playmaker in this offense? I'm excited to see Braylon Staley continue to develop. What can Squirrel White do? Squirrel White's going into his senior season. There was so much hype. He was Joe Milton's guy a year ago. There was so much hype around Squirrel White going into this year, but unfortunately, he wasn't 100%. He was banged up the whole year, playing with a shoulder injury. And, at one point, I think it was starting to impact the team. And it was, if Squirrel's not good to go, he needs to be on the bench. But you love the grittiness. You love the toughness from Squirrel White. Finished the year with 33 catches, 364 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Can he come back? Can he bounce back and be healthy as a senior and be that big play guy again? Like we talked about, he was Joe Milton's go-to guy in 2023, but just kind of had a down year in 2024. I keep my eye on a guy like Chaz Nimrod and Nathan Laycock. What do they do? Do they stick it out and compete? Because I think, I'd seen over at VolQuest, they were talking about the same question I asked you guys. Where would you go? What would you add via the portal? And Austin Price had said they're definitely looking to add a wide receiver, if not 2. Dane Key is in the portal. Concepcion is in the portal. Barrion Brown's in the portal. Micah Hudson is in the portal. There are a lot of big-time playmaking wide receivers. So is that what Tennessee is looking for? Are they going to look to kind of upgrade Caleb Webb? Are they going to look to go to the portal and look for that big play guy? And I keep going back to the article. If Tennessee is going to be a big spender, what position are they looking to upgrade? Is it wide receiver? Is it offensive line? Is it safety? Jump into the comment section. Let's talk about it. But I wanted to get a video out because it is official now. Caleb Webb is going to be entering the transfer portal. Who else? Any other concerns on this roster that you think we may lose during this upcoming portal cycle? But that is going to do it for this one. Make sure you smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, you can go check out the Talkin VAWLS merchandise at bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. The link is in the description below. We got brand new Coach Jay, You're Muted merchandise. We got a camo hoodie, all kinds of fun stuff for you guys to check out. Also, thank you to the members of the channel. If you don't have a Power T beside your name in the comment section or the live chat, you can fix that. Hit the join button. It's right down there beside subscribe. Or there's also a link for that in the description below. It supports the channel, keeps the lights on, particularly as we move into the offseason. So I'm grateful for all of the support. But that is going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.